like actually gave me his number.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're here with Willow right here. She owns her own magazine, so we're just chilling right here at the after party.
Chris, kill him.
And
hey, Chris, kill him.
we got
I don't like him. Kill him.
Nikki.
The only person here that matters.
He has my name every time.
A hell of an ass.
Willow.
Right there. See, right
Oh, bye.
Where's the booze?
You want to do the?
Where's the booze?
I like
There, you want to do the vlog? It's on.
So, which way do I look into it? This way? So, there's Nikki.
tequila.
I got tequila.
Where is it? I did.
There's a screen
That's
on the other side, so you can see what
There
you're
you go.
doing.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So, which you're looking at someone, I'm blogging you right now?
you're vlogging me right now.
camera's not on me.
Now it's on David, but it is Nikki's birthday. We're blogging a picture right now. So we're blogging. It went off. It went off.
No one did it.
It's the boss.
I'm vlogging. Okay.
All right. Well. Hold on.
Oh, you're the worst.
Hold on. One more. Look over
It's the
here.
boss.
Stop.
You want to do my vlog?
Very nice picture.
Okay,
What?
let's keep it in touch.
You pay me.
I was so disrespected as a human being by another human being that. So let's continue that conversation of me saying that I was degraded as a human being, okay? So let's jump right into it. So after we saw the movie Zentastic, right, in the Chinese theater, there was an after party. And I was like, oh, an after party, I've never been to one, so let's go to the after party. So after the, you know, like I said, we went to the after party, and that's when you saw me record, you know, that little area. So that was the after party section, and it was going great, you know, food, open bar, everything was cool, until, as you saw the person next to me, which is the problem person, we'll call it. I've seen her before. I met her once, and it was a really awkward encounter. You know, it was just a really weird encounterment. You know, just you know, those first time encounterments, and they just seem off, like it wasn't normal. That's what happened to me. But then I was like, you know what, maybe I'll give her a second chance, right? So I saw her again, and you know, I told her, hey, how you doing, right? Thinking that maybe tonight would be a better night. And so, you know, she was like, hey, how you doing, right? And then all of a sudden she saw my NASA pin, right? You guys saw that. And then she asked me, like, oh, you have something with NASA? I said, yeah, you know, I'm part of a team called Hidden Pioneers, and we have a collaboration with NASA, and we go to the high schools and blah blah blah, right? And she said, oh, it's really cool. And then she pointed at a open table, you know, for us to sit. So we both sat down just together. And then we talked about, you know, maybe possibly getting a section in her magazine, because she owns a magazine, of putting what the Hidden Pioneers do, so we can get more publicity out of it, right? So like, oh, that's cool, right? Little collaboration already happening between us. You know, great second, you know, encounterment. You know, this could probably work out. You know, it's pretty cool, right? And we started chit-chatting a little bit more about life and everything, and the children. And then I had my friend on a table about 2 feet to my right. He was with his friend, which was a lady that you saw, Nikki, you know, awesome girl. It was actually her birthday too. It was gonna be her birthday at midnight. So I go over there, and cause she's like, oh, we should go sit over there with David. And you know, then we sat with David, and then she got pulled away. She had these other people calling her. She got pulled away, and then from there, I was like, okay, maybe she'll join us again, right? You know, eventually she'll come back, or maybe not, right? Whatever. I'm here to enjoy with my people that I really am connected with. So she ventures off, and then all of a sudden, the president of the company comes out, and he sits next to me, and we're chit-chatting, right? We're chit-chatting. David, Nikki chit-chatting. I'm chit-chatting with the president, and all of a sudden, we all see her going towards the bar and coming back And before you know it, she has a whole bottle of whiskey, okay? I'm not joking you. She's got a whole bottle of whiskey. So instead of grabbing shots by shots, right, as the bar is intended, right, you take a shot, you go back when you want more, she just took the whole damn thing and took stuff in her own matter. And I was like, oh shoot, it's already, I would say it's about already 10:45 at night. And I was like, oh shoot, it's starting to get crazy, right? You know, people with the whole bottle. And of course, only her she would do that. You know, only her she was doing that. Nobody else was being wild like that. So I was like, uh-oh, right, whatever. Let her be crazy, right? Let her do what she wants. And then she comes back eventually, right? And like I said, it's me, the president, David, Nikki, and now her. So she sits at the end of the table, or the end of the chairs, and then all of a sudden, she wants to switch places with the president. She wants to sit next to me. I said, that's cool, right? So as you saw in the video, you know, she was sitting next to me eventually. And then, before I started vlogging that section that you just saw right now in the beginning of the video, I totally forgot her name, right? The night's overwhelming. I'm having such a great time. I've never been in an after party. I've never been in Hollywood. I've never been to Chinese theater. This is so much of a first for me that it's like overwhelming, and I'm trying to absorb it in, and it's awesome, right? So cool. And all hell broke loose, all right? I'm not joking. All hell broke loose. She then looks at me and she whispers in my ear. She says, if you forget my name again, I'm gonna slit your throat. And I'm like, what? Right? That was bad enough, and that would scare someone, or red flags, right? But I ignored it because I'm not scared of anything. I don't have no fear. But I'm like, what? I was like, oh, maybe it's the alcohol talking, right? So, and then all of a sudden, that's when I started vlogging that section, and that's when she said, you know, Chris, kill him, because right there she was already annoyed at me. And now we're gonna continue from where that happened, okay? So after when I turned off the camera, she then started to belittle me, right? She started belittling me. She started asking me, you know, she started, you know, saying like, you know who I am, right? And I was like, no, I mean, yeah, I mean, I know who you are, your name, I know what you do and your occupations, right? But, you know, I truly don't know who you are as a person. But, you know, I know what you do, and I know a little information of you, right? And then she's like, yeah, you should Google me. And I was like, why would I Google you right now? I'm here with people, I'm talking and having a good time. And then she's like, oh, this is what she said. She said, lazy. Once again, a woman has to take care of everything. I'm like, okay, all right then, go ahead, Google. I'm like, all right then. So anyways, I'm talking to David, right, while she's Googling, and she's like, look, and then she shows me her phone with the Google research, and obviously she puts her extension name from her social media, so of course all her social media pops up, right, her Twitter, her Facebook, and Instagram. But then I told her, I was like, there's no articles on you. The first three things are your Instagrams and your social medias. I'm like, okay, cool. And I think she took that as a defense, like, you know, I'm saying like, okay, I don't think you're that big as you think, because the proof is right there, right? So I think that really ticked her off, first of all. And then all of a sudden I was like, well, you know, I'm gonna upload this. And then she tells me, she's like, you can't upload that. You know what? You have to pay me $3,000 if you're gonna do that, because I'm telling you, you don't know who I am, honey. I'm like, I don't care who you are at this point now. If you're gonna be bragging about saying who you are, I mean, it's like, at this point I don't care no more. And then I try to completely ignore her, and then she goes and actually I completely ignore her. I'm talking to David Firestone, and all of a sudden she comes back near me and she puts her head on my shoulder and she says these exact words, and my heart dropped and I went completely numb, because I just couldn't believe that it was continuing this far. She told me, she's like, look it, You need to get the fuck up. You need to get the fuck out of here. And you need to fucking leave because nobody fucking wants you here. Nobody fucking likes you. The president doesn't want fucking here. David doesn't want you here, and Nikki doesn't fucking want you here. So how about you just do us all a favor and just get the fuck up and get the fuck out? And right there and then, there was two choices to do. Look, there's something on the lens. There was two choices to do. Hold on. There we go. Ooh, beautiful. Two things I could have done. I could have retreated and I could have left, or two, I could have seen how much BS I would have put up with this person, because I did not want to have one person ruin my night. So I stood, right? So I looked at her, I smiled, I said, well, what are you talking about? What? I looked at the president, said, do you want me to leave? And then David, do you want me to leave? Nick, do you want to leave? And they all said no. So right there, she already knew that she had nobody on her side, which even make her more mad, which means that the situation even escalated even further, and it did. So the next thing I remember is that, you know, we were kind of arguing, right? We weren't even having a conversation, when we were arguing. And then all of a sudden, she got so mad that she hit me on my stomach. She like literally went like this. She went, right? And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And everybody's like, whoa, what's going on over here? Like, why are we getting physical? And then she's like, I can end your career because because you just don't know who I am. I can end your career. And I'm like, I don't think you can end my career, first of all, because if you want to end my career, you would have to call NASA. And second of all, you can't get a hold of NASA. And third of all, NASA wouldn't even freaking care and who you are. You wouldn't even be able to talk to them. And right there, when I told her NASA, you couldn't get a hold of NASA, it just like triggered her, because it just belittled her even more, just knowing like she couldn't have the conversations and connections like that I have. And then all of a sudden she got so mad, she got up off her chair and she went across the room, which was only like 4 feet, by the way. Okay, there was another set of cushions, and then she started telling me, she's like, honey, like, do you live in a condo in LA? I don't think so. What's your yearly salary? What's your monthly salary? And I'm like, I don't say anything, right? And she takes that as like, because I have no comeback for it, she takes it as like I'm automatically poor or whatever, because she's like, exactly. See, you can't even admit or tell any of us like what's your month. And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything right now, right? Like, and then she's like, see, I'm better than you. I'm like, and I looked at her and said, look it, from human to human, you're not better than me. We're both humans, so we're both equal. Now, anything you accomplish after that, that's great. That's your accomplishment, but you can't use that as ammo to say that you're a better person than somebody. And then she just like felt disgusted and everything. She just looked disgusted. She didn't want to talk to her. She's like, you know, I'm done with you. I'm like, great. And so I started talking, you know, I started conversating with David and all that stuff. And, you know, and poor thing, Nikki, you know, it was her birthday. And I felt so bad because I was like, I can't believe this is happening, you know, literally hours before it's her birthday. This is about 11:30 at night, right? 12 o'clock, we're supposed to celebrate her birthday, and it's going really sour. And then all of a sudden, she then starts talking to me again, and I forget what she was saying to me, but I was like, I told her, like, I thought you were done with me, right? And then she started getting like really, really crazy. And then David, Nikki were literally telling me like, dude, she's a crazy itch. Just say sorry to her so we can move on. And for me, like, the thing is with people like that who like need like who are the type of person like they think they are always right because they always get their way. Nah. See, that girl, she met her match that night. I don't put up with anybody's BS. I'll call it out. I'll point it out. I don't care whose feelings I hurt, okay? Because we're in a business environment. So, and then all of a sudden, I'm not kidding you guys. I gotta sit down for this one. I'm not kidding you right now. The look on her face, you should have seen the look on her face. The moment everybody was telling me to say sorry for her, like she had like this face where she was about to have the most orgasmic, pleasurable moment of her life, especially when she's drunk. You can tell that she was waiting for that sorry. Like I saw her face and she had like a little smirk on it, like knowing like, yeah, I get my way or it's the highway, right? And I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, I could have said sorry right there and then, 100%. I could have said sorry. But then I was, you know what? I'm not gonna give her the satisfaction because I guarantee she's done this crap before. It's not gonna happen on my watch, and I'm gonna be the reason why it ain't gonna continue. Okay, I'm not gonna be her next victim. But she was waiting for the sorry because everybody was trying to peer pressure me, right, into saying sorry. And then all of a sudden, she, all of a sudden, I said out loud, I was like, why say sorry, right? What's the point? What's the point of saying sorry? What am I saying sorry for? Why? And then everybody's like, just say it, Brandon, like, so we can move on. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna give her the satisfaction, right? And that really ticked her off. It really ticked her off knowing that she couldn't get whatever she wants, and it exploded after that, right? It went to the next level of craziness, right? And this is where it started getting crazy. After that little session of not saying sorry, right? I started talking to David Firestone. Then she gets up, she comes to me. I'm not joking. She comes to me and she looks right at, I'm sitting down right on the couch in the same position, right, where you saw in the video. She comes to me with her right foot, steps on her foot. I'm gonna put a picture up right now of my shoe right now, or a little video actually of my shoe, as you guys can see. She steps on my foot and she's purposely rubbing her foot into my dress shoe, and then she grabs with her right hand, she grabs my cheek like this, as hard as she can, right? Like squeeze it like a baby, right? As hard as she can. And she looks at me, she's like, honey, you're nothing, okay? You're less than nothing, and nobody wants you, and I'm telling you, you should just leave right now. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, dude, this girl's fucking crazy, man. Absolutely bonkers crazy, dude. Like, there must have been a screw that got so lubed up in her head from that alcohol that it just unscrewed and it completely flew out, and right now it's just everywhere in her brain. Like, I just couldn't believe it. And then all of a sudden, I was like, and then once again, escalating the situation when I could have just shut my mouth, but I was just having, you know, I was just baffled, and I was so numb inside. I'm telling you guys, in the moment, this never happened to me ever in my life. So for this to occur to me and happen to me, it was so, I was numb to the core. I just didn't know how to react. I was just reacting almost like natural. Like it was almost making a movie in real time, and I just didn't know how the movie was gonna end. I just kept acting, just kept going. And then I looked at her, I said, and then once again I was like, David, you want me to leave, Nikki? And he's like, no, we don't want you to leave, right? And at that point right there, that's when it started getting too crazy, and the actual president left, right? He left the building, and he actually went outside to go conversate somewhere else because he knew it started to get crazy. And then all of a sudden, and then when I made those remarks about, you know, me wanting to stay, asking people again, she turns around, right? She turns around, she comes back to me, and she spits on my face. I'm not joking with you guys right now. She spits on my face right here, actually. Right here, she spits right here. Right on my face. And everybody was like in shock. Everybody went, whoa. And then Nikki looks at me and says, Brandon, did she just spit on you? I said, yeah, she just spat on me, right? And then all of a sudden, she's cleaned off my face. And then she's like, whoa, well, that's uncalled for, right? And that's where I kind of had it, and that was like where I drew the line, because now she really was degrading me. And I was like, I'm gonna call the cops, right? And everybody's like, don't call the cops, man. You're gonna create a scene and everything. I'm like, I'm gonna call the cops. So she spit on me, and she assaulted me multiple times. And all of a sudden I pulled my phone out, right? So I had my phone like this, right? Pretend there's a phone, right? Obviously. And then all of a sudden I was about to dial, and then she packs her bags up. She literally grabs her bag. She starts to walk away a little bit, right? Maybe like a couple steps. So I'm like, okay, she's leaving. Good. So I'm not gonna call the cops. We're leaving. I can get the hell out of here, and then go to the next day. And you know, obviously I'm gonna report this, right? Of what she's done. But right now I just need to get the heck out of here. So, and before she leaves, she comes back real swiftly, and she tries to hit my phone out of my hand, like swipe it from underneath so it flies away and it lands on the floor. And I dodged it. I was like, whoa, 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 what do you think you're doing there, right? And making like a funny joke out of it. And she got really triggered from that, and then she walked away, right? And mind you, this is for record on the video, I didn't take one sip of alcohol. I was sober the whole entire time, by the way, okay? So then we're walking, right? We all get up and we're about to leave, right? So we're all leaving, and then I pull my camera out and I was pretending to vlog, and I kind of remember what I said, but pertaining to vlog, I was like, well guys, this is Brandon, and the after party's almost done. As you can see, you know, we had a great time, and also if you stick around long enough, you'll get abused, right? And she thought I was vlogging, and she was like, she thought she was in the camera angle and the camera sight, and then she looked at me, she's like, are you recording me? I said, no. And she's like, you know, if you're recording me, I'm gonna get my lawyer on you, and I'm going to sue you, and if you upload that and I'm in it, you owe me $3,000 for that video. And I'm like, first of all, this is a public space. Second of all, I'm recording for my own safety, if you forgot what you were doing to me. And third of all, no, I'm not paying you $3,000. You're crazy. And then she goes to the bar people, and then she was like, is this a public place? And I'm like, oh, this girl's too much, man. Like, holy crap. So, and then all of a sudden, after that, David goes to the restroom, right? So he's not there. And then she pulls her phone out, and she's like, I'm gonna send this to my lawyer, right? She's recording me. How ironic, huh? So I can't record her, but then all of a sudden she can record me without consent, right? What funny, right? How that works. It's almost like a Karen kind of thing, right? Karen. And then all of a sudden, what happened after? And then she was like, this is for my lawyer now. And I was like, hey, I'm Brandon on the camera, right? I don't know if she was actually recording, but I was like, hey, I'm Brandon. You know, blah, blah, blah. Thinks I was recording without her consent, but it's not true. So, you know, I don't know what's going on here, honestly. And then all of a sudden Nikki comes, and she grabs my camera from behind, and she was telling the girl, she's like, look it, he wasn't recording. And then she looks at her, and like, she screams in her face, she's like, that's fucking bullshit, I saw him recording. And she was like, no, he wasn't recording, I promise you, he wasn't recording. And then all of a sudden, she's like, well, show me the recording. And I was like, okay. So I was like, do you have a minute and 14 seconds? Because that's how long the video was, right? And she's like, show me already. And I was showing her, and it was the latest video, and then it was recording, going. And about 53 seconds into the video, I'm not kidding you, she walks away and she says, you know what? You suck at vlogging. And I was like, more than half the video, it was David having the camera. And so he sucks at vlogging, not me. And poor thing, he comes out and he was like, what's going on? I just came back from the restroom and you guys are already talking about me? It was such good timing, right? And what was after that? And then we all walked out, right? And before she walked away, she actually scratched Nikki on the shoulder with her nails. She scratched Nikki with her nails, and then she walked away, right? And then all of a sudden, we were about to open up the glass doors to get out completely to the main Chinese theater, floor. And she looks, she's like, I'm gonna get a cease and desist on both you fuckers. And Nikki was like looking around, like going like, wow, why am I in this conversation? And all of a sudden, once again, escalating the thing, I was like, go ahead. Because I know it would never hold up, right? It's just a bunch of nonsense talking from a drunk person, right? And then there was 2 options to go down to the main floor. There was stairs and then there was elevator, right? And she did not want to take the stairs with me. I'm not kidding you, right? We're about to go home and she's like, I'm taking the elevator. And everybody else took the stairs. She just wanted to take the elevator by herself. I'm like, okay. So we all walked down and I'm looking at David. I was like, David, what a fucking night, David. And he was like, yeah, dude, it's just drunk people, man. Can't, you know. He's like, next time just shut the F up, right? But I was like, no, dude, I couldn't give her that satisfactory, right? I had to be like that warrior and stop from all that BS, because that was ugly, right? And as we're having this conversation going down, I see the president again, right? And mind you, like I said, the president left before. So I'm going, and I was like, hey, Jeff, I pulled him aside from a conversation, like, hey, Jeff, this is what happened, right? You know, blah, 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 blah. And he looked at me, he's like, oh, wow, really? I was like, yeah, that happened to me, man. And I told him it was one of the worst experiences I've ever had in my life. I was so degraded as a human being, and I just can't believe that actually happened to me, because they all know who I am. I'm a great person, I have great energy, I'm positive, you know, and I do a lot of good stuff. And then all of a sudden, you know, it was so funny. She came out of the elevator, but I was facing the opposite way, so my back was towards the elevator that you could come out, and he was facing towards the elevator so he could see it. And oh, sorry about that, the camera died. Oh, we got some smearing stuff. Okay, there we go, camera died. Sorry, I had to change batteries. But where was that? Okay, so, and then there was a couch 10 feet away from us, right? And then Jeff, man, I will forever remember that face. It was like looking at the devil, right? Because I told him like the actions that happened to me. He looked and his eyes were like marbles, like when a cat like or a dog sees like a treat that they love, right? Just like oh my god, I cannot believe it, like that's right there. But like, oh my god, his face. So he had his eyes bulge up like that. He was like, and he said this to me, he was like, Brandon, she's right behind you. And all of a sudden, right, I was like, oh my god, this girl's literally 10 feet from me. And I was like, I gotta get out of here, right? Like, I gotta leave, get out of Hollywood, get back to my house, and get out of here so she can't follow me, because I don't know what the hell she's thinking, right? Because I already ticked her off. And all of a sudden, I just changed the conversation. I was like, all right, Jeff, you know what? I'll call you tomorrow and we'll talk about those 12-minute sessions and all that stuff. And have a wonderful night, and we'll speak tomorrow. So take care. And dude, I ran out of there and I sped walked so fast. And I was outside in the dark. This is already 12:30 at night. And I'm looking around, I was like, okay, I gotta go that way. And I'm trying to retrace my steps because I was like, dude, I gotta get out of here before this girl follows me, or I don't know what's gonna happen, right? Like I said, it's like a movie it's like a movie happening in real life, in real time. And I don't know how it's gonna end. So I just kept walking. I finally found my car, and that's when you know, I recorded the last of it, where I was at the light saying that I was, you know, having a bad night, and that's where it happened right there, guys. So yeah, it was a really crazy night, honestly. Reflecting on it, it was really bad at the end. And also too, when I got home, I couldn't sleep the whole night, because like I said, I was so traumatized of what happened to me, because I just couldn't believe it, you know. But after like sitting there, you know, for a couple of hours, and eventually fell asleep at 6 o'clock in the morning, I eventually, you know, came to terms of either, you know, pressing charges, or, you know, just letting it be. And then, you know, I understand when stuff happens to people, like the first initiative thing you want to do is like press charges or do something to get revenge. But at the same time, you know, actually sitting down, reflecting on what's going to happen, I started looking at the pros and cons for both sides, right? It's very simple. You just sit down and you just think of it. So if I do pursue charges, right, you know, first I gotta get a lawyer, I gotta have a case, I'm gonna have to get security footage, I'm gonna have to get witnesses, which I have. I have to have video footage if I have that, and so much evidence I'm gonna have to really pursue this. And of course, you have to have money as well too. You know, you gotta have money to do this stuff. And then I was thinking, I was like, man, because of COVID, you know, the courts could be delayed, you know, and this whole thing get ugly And the only thing that I would really get out of it is more of like, you know, I told you so, and you shouldn't be doing this to other people in the future. Even though if I would have got money in return and maybe like a restraining order, that's, you know, that would have been a good thing too. But too many cons to pursue it, right? And then I was thinking, I was like, if I don't pursue it, you know, first of all, I already told, you know, the decision makers in the company what happened to me, right? And they said they're going to deal with it as far as, you know, removing her from the circle. So I was like, okay, so, you know, I reported it to the right people. They're going to take care of it, right? And I probably never have to see this person again. And if I choose the other way, which is pursuing charges, right, I'll have to see her again multiple times. And who knows how my life will be like after, and how much it's going to affect all the good things that I am doing right now. So I really thought about it, and I think it was a sign from God that it wasn't meant to be as far as pressing charges, because I actually called 2 very, very top lawyers in assault and abuse cases, and I left multiple messages. You know, I think each one I left like 5 messages saying, you know, I have something that just happened to me recently. I need somebody's help, right? And they never called back on my case. So I really think that it was a sign from God that I shouldn't press charges, and that I should move on, and that whatever happened to me, you know, I'm strong enough to deal with it. And then it finally hit me that the more I expose myself to people, because I want to do better for my life, because you have to interact with people, you have to know people, you have to connect with people to really start piecing the puzzle to gain to the life you want to get to. You have to have people in your life and deal with them. You're going to come across people who are negative, who are broken, who are lost, who are just hateful at life because of either the choices they've made or the things that have happened to them, and they just can't let it go. So they use that bad energy and they inflict it on everybody else. So you know what? I didn't press charges. I know it wasn't meant to be, and you know what? I've always been, I'm at peace. You know, it took me like 4 or 5 hours to really calm down from the situation, and I'm at peace now. So I'm not gonna pursue stuff. You know, they told me they're gonna get rid of her, and I'll never have to see her again. And the way I also think about it is that you have to feel sorry for those people. Even though I have rage inside and I would like to, like, you know, have some kind of revenge, you gotta like calm down and not get to the level that she was, or to that stoop below level that she was, and thinking that the ego is so powerful, right? Because it's not good to have that egotistic mind, what she had, thinking that she's all that. And that, you know, I feel sorry for her because she's so broken that you can tell she's just burning bridges. She can't hold her own stuff, you know, and that's what's gonna happen to you if you continue just being a bad person. So yeah, guys, it was a crazy night, and just reflecting on it, it was crazy. I've never thought in my life it would happen to me, but it did happen, and it'll probably continue to happen, right? I'll eventually probably meet another toxic person, but now I have experience of what to look for, and you know, now next time to walk away so I can avoid that toxic environment and that toxic person. So, but man, what a night, guys. It was truly a crazy night, guys. It really was. It was incredibly rare that it ever happened to me, but it's gonna happen, right? So there you guys have it. That was part 2 to my crazy adventure in Hollywood, man. Only in Hollywood. You know, in California they call it Holly Weird, because some weird stuff happens only in Hollywood, guys. So that's my little follow-up for part 2. That's what happened to me. But you know, it'll happen to eventually to all of us, but you just can't let it affect you, and you just got to keep moving forward. Can't let things stop you. Can't let the evil and the negativity stop you. So yeah, guys, so if you stuck around me, I know this is a long video, but I literally had to get this off my chest. I had to explain to you guys what happened and you know, somewhat details. And thank God I was sober actually that night, because I was thinking of drinking, but you know, thank God I was sober, because I think it would have turned out real ugly if I wasn't sober. So yeah, guys, it can happen to the best of us. Like I said, just keep positive. So I will see you guys later in the next one. I have a car show coming up on Saturday at the Automobile Museum be really cool. I'll get some footage for you guys. It's gonna be a car show, and you know, can't wait to get back on the road with Camaro. It's gonna be awesome. So thanks for the support. I really appreciate you guys' time and effort coming back and supporting my channel. And blessings to you guys. Keep pursuing what you're doing, and don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, so you guys can help me out. I really appreciate it. And I just want to get this Camaro going, guys. Okay, I can't do it without you guys, so I appreciate the love. So blessings to you guys, everybody who's watching this, and I'll see you guys next time. So take care. God bless. Bye bye.